Welcome to this explainer. Today we are taking a seriously fascinating journey, and it's one that bridges two worlds that might seem totally different at first glance. We're talking about pure, hard mineralogy on one hand, and the expansive, metaphysical concept of personal flourishing on the other. We're zeroing in on a crystal known as Goshenite. And look, whether you're a gemologist who geeks out over crystal structures, or you're just someone looking for a spark of fresh energy in your daily routine, this stone has a super compelling story to tell us. So let's just dive right into this by posing a bit of a paradox, shall we? How exactly can a crystal that is completely devoid of color be the exact tool people use to invite the most vibrant, colorful, and fresh experiences into their lives? It's a pretty beautiful contrast when you think about it. In a world where we are just constantly bombarded by bright stimuli and loud energies all day long, sometimes the absolute most powerful catalyst for change is, well, a blank slate. Section 1. The Mother of Gemstones, the Physical Reality of Goshenite. All right, to really understand this stone, we have to start with the hard science. Goshenite actually gets its name from Goshen, Massachusetts, which is where it was first discovered. Now, it belongs to the Beryl mineral family, and Beryl is famous for its colors. When this mineral forms with certain trace elements mixed into its crystal structure, it creates some truly spectacular gems. It's like a recipe. You add a little chromium, boom, you get a green emerald. You add some iron, you've got yellow heliodor or a blue aquamarine. Manganese gives you that gorgeous pink morganite. But Goshenite is pure beryl. With zero trace elements to tint it, it is entirely 100% colorless. And because of this completely unadulterated state, Goshenite is affectionately known in the gem world as white beryl, or, and I love this one, the mother of gemstones. I mean, it literally represents the original, pure template from which all those other famous, colorful gems are born. It is the physical embodiment of a blank slate, just existing as a completely clear canvas right there in the natural world. Moving into Section 2, the Stone of Flourishing. From physical purity to metaphysical possibility. For crystal practitioners, that physical blank slate we just talked about is a super powerful metaphor for mental clarity. It's a way to approach life with unclouded enthusiasm. They actually call Goshenite the stone of flourishing. But let's be clear here. Flourishing doesn't mean your life is suddenly this perfect, problem-free zone, or that every single day is a massive success. It simply means continuing to grow, learning from the inevitable bumps in the road, and above all, remaining willing to keep moving forwards. It is basically the active rejection of feeling stuck. And honestly, there's a quote from the source material that just hits the nail on the head regarding the energy practitioners associate with this stone. Don't stand on the sidelines, get involved with life. That is a bold, forward-moving call to action, right? It perfectly captures the whole essence of Goshenite. This isn't some passive, calming energy. It's an active encouragement to step outside the crowd, stop just watching the world go by, and actually get in there and participate in your own journey. Section 3, Overcoming Fear and Stagnation. Breaking out of the routine. Look, getting involved with life, often way easier said than done. We all hit those periods where a fear of failure totally clouds our decisions and it makes us choose the safe route every single time. To break out of that paralyzing routine, practitioners tap into Goshenite for things like courage, commitment, self-belief, and confidence. The whole goal is to shift your focus away from what could go wrong, look at that blank slate, and just ask, hey, what might become possible if I simply give this a try? It really fosters this deep, genuine sense of curiosity. Just asking yourself, what else could I do? Think about that question for a second. When your mind feels stuck on a loop, Goshenite is used during meditation or creative work to basically open the door to totally new ideas. It helps you stop forcing the answers and instead just become receptive. Whether it's a project that's been sitting in the back of your mind or a place you've always wanted to visit, it nudges you to take that very first step. Next up, Section 4, Grounding and Energetic Balance. Pairing for practical connection. Energetically speaking, Goshenite is said to work through the auric field, creating this space around you so your mind can become quiet, light, and uplifted. But because it makes you feel so incredibly inwardly focused, it's highly recommended to pair it with earthy grounding practices. Our source actually recommends smoky quartz as a first choice. You might hold Goshenite during meditation to explore all those new possibilities, and then spend a few moments with smoky quartz right afterward just to bring your awareness squarely back to the physical room you're sitting in. Another highly recommended pairing is with black tourmaline. And again, talk about a brilliant contrast. Goshenite is all about exploration, openness, and forward movement, while black tourmaline is deeply grounded and stabilizing. Using them together creates this perfect equilibrium. It's like Goshenite tells you to look up at the stars and dream big, while black tourmaline acts as your anchor. It gives you a strong connection to the earth so you don't just float away from the practical realities of your day-to-day life. Section 5. Reconnecting with life. Turning philosophy into action. So, this is all about taking that philosophy and turning it into action in our daily lives. We get so insanely comfortable with our routines that we just stop exploring without even realizing we've done it. Goshenite's energy is a prompt to question that stagnation. So, what does that actually look like? Well, try something different. Learn a new skill. Literally just take a completely different route to work tomorrow. Strike up a conversation and meet someone new. Or maybe return to a hobby you used to absolutely love but somehow abandoned. The specific action matters way less than the intention to simply keep moving and keep growing. And this whole desire for connection, it extends right outward into the environment too. Because Goshenite has such an uncomplicated, clear character to it, it naturally aligns with the outdoors. Practitioners note that it's beautiful for meditating outside in nature, for working with lunar energies, or just deepening our subtle bonds with the natural world, especially for those who already feel a strong, intuitive connection with animals. It's fascinating because it doesn't demand attention, yet it acts as this incredible catalyst. Our source actually wraps up their analysis of Goshenite with this completely fantastic description. They literally call it a live wire. It is a quiet but super powerful instigator for fresh ideas, renewed confidence, and the sheer courage to finally move forward when you've been feeling stuck in the mud. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Goshenite shows us that a lack of color isn't an emptiness. It's a canvas just waiting for you to paint on it. So I'll leave you with this. If you were handed a completely blank slate today, what new possibility would you finally explore? Take that idea of flourishing, hold on to that fresh energy, and get involved with life. Thanks for hanging out with me for this one, and keep exploring.